Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are going to get started here in just a few minutes. We've got Adrian Ostrus from Elder Care, who's going to be going over Medicare Center today. I know from looking at the list of people that are on today, we've got some people that were at the main event, and then some of you weren't at the main event, which is fine. Adrian's going to go over Medicare Center. And so Medicare Center is basically Integrity's online enrollment platform for all of your Medicare carriers that you have through Secure. And so there is super cool. You can go through and it's all in one. And so basically some of the stuff without stealing much of her thunder that she'll talk about is it's an all-in-one login, and everything is all in one place. So you don't have to keep track of separate things, as well as it's all online. They can also do a shop by doc, so you can go look and see different plans that take doctors in your area. You can also check drugs, check different pharmacies. And then probably the coolest thing that I'm most excited about is they are allowing you to do the HRAs and VBEs through Medicare Center now. So I know Adrian will talk about all of that, but we're super excited. Thank you for being with us. Adrian's, I'll kick it over to you, Adrian.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me okay still?
Yes, you're perfect.
Awesome. So I'll just wait until you make me the host so then I can start sharing my screen.
Let me pass it to you right now.
Okay.
Okay, you have it.
Alrighty, there we go. So once again, I am Adrian, and I am going to be talking about the Medicare Center today. I am super excited. For those of you that were at the main event, you got a little sneak peek of what it's all about. But today, what I'm going to do is go through an actual enrollment and kind of get in there and actually show you how to navigate it and be comfortable using it. So please, at any time, you have questions, please comment them, put them in the chat. I think they have allowed the chat on here. Just let me pull that up to make sure. Okay. And I think because I'm the host, Matt, people are still trying to join. So I'm just hitting admit. I hope that's okay, whoever is trying to.
Yeah, that's
okay.
perfect. Yeah, just everybody. Yeah, you're good.
All right. I will continue to do that. So once again, thank you guys who just jumped on for joining us. I'm Adrian. I'm going to be talking about the Medicare Center. And if I go too fast, please let me know. This is kind of, it may take up to an hour to show you all the tips and tricks that the Medicare Center has to offer. So just please interact with me and let me know how I'm doing. So to begin with the Medicare Center, it's really simple. You go to medicarecenter.com, and if you have never utilized this tool, you will have to register. So just because you do already have all your contracts with Secure, you are still going to need to register for this website. It's really simple. I can show you what it looks like. When you go to register, this is the only information you'll need. What will happen is you'll get a confirmation email. You just confirm your email, and then you're able to log in. So I'm going to go ahead and get logged in. Okay, so once you're able to get logged in, this is what the home screen is going to look like. It's always going to have the Medicare Advantage, the Medicare Supplement, and the client management. Those are the three main components of the Medicare Center. The main one being that Medicare Advantage and PDP one, where you can compliantly, enroll your client over the phone. The Medicare Center does offer a learning center, and it is full of different kinds of documents, tips, tricks, scripts, guides. It's full of stuff just for you to have access to and download as you need. It's always there. They're always adding to it. So if you don't do Medicare Advantage or anything, you can still utilize the Medicare Center for, its learning center, its CRM, and that Medicare Supplement quote engine. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the client management part of it, just to show you all the features before we get into that enrollment. So this is what it currently looks like. As of right now, that client management system. For 2022, it is going to look a little bit different, and they actually are going to release the new version of this hopefully by end of July, so all of you can get in there and play with the new features. But as of right now, if you do want to utilize the CRM come time for 2022, you can go ahead and start importing your book of business. So you simply just hit the import button, and then you can download the template. It's just an Excel spreadsheet, and it shows you exactly how your information needs to be for you to then upload. So as of right now, this is basically all it offers, which is kind of like just a Rolodex: first name, last name, email, phone, zip, primary product. It does offer the status of what your client may be at. You can set yourself up a follow-up date, and then of course it lets you do additional notes. So as of right now, that is all the features, but coming soon, this will be integrated into the enrollment platform, and I can kind of explain that afterwards, how that's going to happen, but you'll be able to see which plans and the scope and all of that within this CRM as well. And then you will be able to do it by list view instead of this card view. You'll be able to see sort it by statuses and everything like that. And then another really great feature that's happening within the client management system is that you will be able to export your information. So I know that a lot of platforms like this don't allow that. And as of right now, we don't, but coming, by end of July, you'll be able to run reports and export the certain clients you want to, or all the clients. It's your choice. So if you don't have any questions about the CRM, I'm gonna jump into the Medicare Supplement part. I think the chat is going. I haven't seen anything pop up in there. So I hope that if you do have questions, they're showing up for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the Medicare Supplement part of the Medicare Center. And the Medicare Supplement part is actually just the CSG feed. So for those of you who are familiar with CSG, which I think all the agents at Secure should be familiar with CSG, then this is going to be integrated into that Medicare Center. So you won't have to go back to CSG to run your Medicare Supplement quotes. It's all going to be right here within this one login. And then you'll see here, it does offer all the other things CSG does, but for the most part, people are going to utilize this for the Medicare Supplement. And I'm not going to get into running a MedSup quote on here. I think all of you should be really familiar with that, but I do want to show you that this is within the Medicare Center. And I do also want to point out, like you'll notice when I hit Medicare Supplement, it opened it in a new tab. So I know that a lot of agents request this feature so they don't have to keep going, back and forth, that it actually opened another tab. So that is a really great feature as well. I know it's a little feature, but I know that all of you greatly appreciate that. So then I'm going to go ahead and move into the Medicare Advantage part. The goods, as I would say. So when you click Medicare Advantage and PDP, you're going to get two different options. You're going to get that Medicare app and that Medicare link. So that Medicare app is actually going to be the Connecture version. And then that Medicare link is going to be the Sunfire version. And so a lot of agents ask, which one do I use? Why do you give me two options? And it's literally just for you to be able to have options is why they do that, because certain agents already utilize Sunfire and they don't want to learn something new. So they integrated that platform within this one. So you still don't have to go to another login. So once I click Medicare link, if you're already utilizing Sunfire, it's just going to open it in a new tab. You won't have to log in. You'll automatically be logged in. And then this is what Sunfire will look like. And then, of course, if you want to go to the Medicare app one, the Connecture one, you just click it and it will open in its own tab as well. And this is what it will look like, the Connecture version. So the Connecture version is really similar to Medicare.gov because they're the ones who power Medicare.gov. So once again, you have two different options. I'm going to dive deep into the Medicare app one because that's the one that we, have more control over, and this is going to be the one that is going to have the updates, and it's going to have the integration into the CRM. So Medicare app will be the only one that will have that integration with the CRM. So as of right now, this is just what the dashboard looks like. Come 2022, man, that's hard to say. It will have a little bit different dashboard. You'll be able to see, kind of a master, what's going on with all your clients, what's out, what's pending, your task, everything like that. And I think I talked to someone there, and when all these new features roll out and I become more familiar with them and I can answer all your questions about them, I will be able to do another training as well. But I do, because for the most part, the basics are going to stay the same of how you do an enrollment. There's just going to be some new features. So I do want to point out that you can go straight to plans up here if you want to. If you don't have any drugs or pharmacies or information and you're just really curious what's in a certain zip code, you can go straight to plans. But if you do have those prescriptions and the client's name and stuff that you want to save, you will always do new profile. So I might put that in my pop quiz, everyone. So once you hit new profile, this is what it's going to look like. And you'll notice that the first three fields are the only required ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use Secure's information because that's where the majority of you are. So you'll see it automatically popped up the county. If there was more than one county, it would pop up the option for you to choose. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill out this information. That way I can show you how it auto-populates into the application. You don't have to fill out all this information right away if you're trying to be really quick just to save those prescriptions. All you need is those three fields, and then you can save and then jump to prescriptions if you want to. But for the most part, you're going to want to fill out everything. That way it auto-populates into everything else, including that application. And once all of you get logged in to the Medicare Center, I strongly suggest that you get in there and you do a test one for yourself, That way, you know, you can put your email and your cell phone number in there. So whenever you're doing the test, it will get sent to you, and then you'll be able to see what it looks like from the client's perspective. So you might want to write that down, do your own test when you get logged in. Another new feature that they've already launched here is whenever you enter that zip code and you start typing the address, it's going to auto-populate the USPS options. And you'll see it populated the state and city for me. So is the sales contact different from the beneficiary? No. And then this additional information, this is not going to auto-populate into the application. I know a lot of agents would call and say it's not working, it's not populating, and that's because per carrier or CMS or whoever, we can't insert that information automatically. It has to be re-entered for confirmation of who they are. And then if for some reason there's a field that you wish was available that, you know, isn't provided here, there is an open field for you to utilize for whatever you want it to be. That way, whenever you're going into here, you can look at that open field and see whatever you want it to be. I think one agent wanted to use it for Medicaid, or if they had Medicaid or the Medicaid number. So you can use it for that. It's literally open for whatever you want it to be. So once you fill out all this information, the normal steps would be, of course, to go to the continue to the scope. You can continue to plans at this point, and you can go straight to the preferences if you have a scope, but I'm going to go ahead and continue to scope so you can see the actual steps. So this is what it's going to look like. It auto-populated that email and phone number for me. So I can either text the scope or email the scope. I noticed that more and more agents are utilizing the text over the email. It is a lot easier. I mean, it's basically just the same versus text and email, but getting that text message, you know, instantly is more convenient. And so as you send it, it's going to pop up the status up here that you have sent it. And then you'll also get the status when your client has finished it. And then you'll have a button here for you to complete the scope, because as an agent, you still have to sign that scope. And then once you're done signing it, you'll get a nice green arrow here that says complete, your scope is good, and then you can continue to those preferences. If you are still doing paper scopes, which hopefully you won't anymore, you'll start utilizing this system for your scopes. But if you do have those paper ones and you want to keep it in their file, you can. There's an option here for you to upload and scan that scope into their file. And then of course, whenever that scope is complete and you want to give your client a copy of the scope, or you want to print a copy, you'll be able to download it right away and print it. It'll be a PDF. So I know this button here is nice and blue and it says continue to plans, but you're going to want to do add preferences next. And like I said, for that scope, I definitely recommend you get in there. If you're in an office with multiple people, you can, you know, do it between all of you. That way you can all see what it looks like. So I did have a question. Can you input multiple lines of info in the open box and edit it on later visits to the client profile? I do not know, Mike, if you can do multiple lines on there. I do know that there is also a notes section within the profile, and when I go back to it, I can go ahead and show you that. But I'm not sure about the multiple lines in that open field. That's definitely something we can test out though. Okay, so once you go to add preferences, you're going to see it auto-populated that zip code. And this is where you're going to go if they have that extra help. So I'm just going to hit prescription drug. And I believe the new option is I applied and got full help through Social Security, or you got partial. So this is where you can select those options for that extra help. It's always going to be on the Get Started tab. I'm just going to hit I don't know for this example. So then you'll hit continue and it's going to go to help. And if you don't want to hit continue, if you just want to hit health, you can. This system is very user friendly. You can hit the back button. You can even, you'll notice that up here it says secure because that's what I made the client's first name. But whenever you're in one of the client's profiles, you can jump through any of the parts or any of the sections at any time up here. If we use the CRM portion of Medicare Center, will it auto-populate the client's information in future years? So yes, definitely, to answer that question. And even if it's not automatically, I believe that that's why they're creating that import and export. So even if it's not automatic and all you have to do is export and re-upload, it'll be that simple for sure. So once you get to the health preference on here, it's going to give you three options: generally healthy, some health needs, and significant health needs. So this is just a feature that Medicare Center offers to give you an example, a real life example of your client's out-of-pocket expenses. So if you know you have a client who's going to be utilizing this plan, who has significant health needs, you can select here. And when you get to the plans, it's going to actually calculate it in a way for their health status. And then you'll notice it automatically populated that age. So then I'm going to go to prescriptions next. And you'll notice it's really similar to Medicare.gov. It's just you get to save them on this platform. So I'm going to go ahead and use Lipitor for an example because I can spell that one and because it has that generic version. So I like to go ahead and select both versions to show you all what it looks like. So would you like to use the generic version? I'm going to say yes, add, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the name brand. That way you can kind of get a look to see how it is when we get to the plans. That, and if you do have that client that you don't know if they want the generic or the brand name, or if they have to use the generic or the brand name. So also I want to point out that they do have the blue button feature, and this is where it is within the prescriptions preference. So if you have a client that utilizes the mymedicare.gov, where all their up-to-date prescriptions are supposed to be, all you have to do is send them an email, and all they have to do is accept, and then it's going to automatically import all their prescriptions for you. Exactly how many per month, the exact names, everything for you automatically. So that's where that feature is. So then I'm going to move to pharmacy. And there are a few things that kind of changed here. There's filters, and you can actually just type in the pharmacy name, and you can now select more than one pharmacy. So before, you could only select one. I know that a lot of agents were not happy about that, but the great thing about utilizing the Medicare app is if there is something like that that isn't, user friendly to you, the agent, they are really great about listening to you and making those changes for you. So enough agents requested the multiple pharmacies. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add CVS and I'm going to add Walmart. That way I can show you how to go between the two. I think I was trying to show you the filters that they allow: medical equipment, electronic prescribing, handicap accessible, and open 24 hours. So these are all filters you can select for the pharmacies. How many pharmacies can be selected? I've never tried to select more than 2, but it just let me do 3. And looks like 3. It didn't let me add that 4th one. So 3 pharmacies at max. And I do want to go ahead and show you that this map is interactive. So you can drag it and zoom in and zoom out. The only thing you have to remember when you do that is you have to hit search this area to research where you zoomed out of. So like if you are in a zip code that's really rural, then whenever you type, like once you get to this screen, you won't see any pharmacies and you're going to be like, that's not right. So all you have to do is zoom out and then hit search this area, and hopefully your pharmacies will pop up for you. I think what it does is it goes directly to the center of the zip code. And then once you hit continue to plans, this is what it will look like. It's going to tell me there's 43 plans available in the zip code for this county. Automatically, the automatic view for this is it's only going to show the carriers that you are licensed, certified to sell through Secure. So if you see a carrier not showing, definitely, get with Secure and let them know so we can get that fixed. And then if you do want to see all of the carriers, whether you're licensed with them or not, you can hit add non-licensed plans. Please expand your screen. Oh, how about I zoom in? Is that better? Robin, I remember meeting you, Robin. Yes, thanks. Okay, thank you for saying something. There, I zoomed in. I hope that's better. So if you want to see the non-licensed plans, all you do is click that, and it's going to load all the plans, even the ones you're not licensed with. Which I'm going to be licensed with all of them. So it's not going to make that difference for me. So it automatically goes to the Medicare Advantage prescription drug tab. It has a Medicare Advantage tab and it has a prescription drug tab. And it does have a Medicare Supplement tab, but this is still, I believe, under construction. So as of right now, you still have to go to that CSG portal for the Medicare supplements, but they are working on a way to integrate it within the Medicare app, which will be even more amazing. So once again, it'll do prescription drug plans, just the MA plans, and then the MAPD plans. And then this is where you can also add those special needs plans. And then you can easily hide all the special needs plans. This is where you can sort by that total estimated cost. It does offer other ways to sort. So if there is a different sort that you want to use, you have options. but for the most part, agents like to use that total estimated cost. This is where you're going to see whether the prescriptions are covered or not. That is why I chose that name brand versus the generic. So it's telling me one is covered. This is telling me that CVS, which was my primary, is the standard in-network, my estimated drug cost, my monthly premium, the star rating, deductible, and the max out of pocket. So this is all the details it's going to preview for each plan. Now, if I wanted to switch between pharmacies, it's going to have my list of pharmacies over here on the left. So if I wanted to see if Walmart was in network or this price cutter, it's all standard in network. I'm going to go back to CVS and see if one says preferred. So this one says preferred in network. And then of course it even lets me do that mail order. As well. So I'm going to go back to CVS for just this example. And then of course it's always going to have these interactive shortcuts on the sides. So if there's a certain filter you want to use, you only want to see a certain carrier, you only want to see the plans you sell, you want to see the insulin savings, plan types, it's all right here. This is how you can easily get back to your preferences as well. So I put on here, I'm not eligible for special help, the generally healthy, my age, my prescriptions, my pharmacy. So I can go back and edit them here, and keep in mind that I can go back and edit them here as well at any time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of the plan details. That way you can see what it looks like. It's pretty basic, and they actually have it organized pretty well and easy to read. The premium, the benefits. I do appreciate them putting it in bold. Pharmacy deductible. And if you keep scrolling to the bottom, you're going to even get the carrier's plan documents. So there really should be no reason for you to have to go to that carrier portal. It'll link you to their provider search, which you don't have to log into. So that's what it looks like when you go into plan details. It provides a prescriptions tab. So this is telling me the covered drugs. And then it's going to tell me the non-covered. Are there any plans to be able to add doctors to search for accepted plans? Yes. And I probably should have shown you that here. So I don't want to confuse any of you, but for this question, I'm going to go back to preferences, because this is where that provider is going to go, Robin. So hopefully releasing into July, you will see another option here for provider. And that's going to be the Medicare apps version of Shop by Doc. So you'll be able to add their primary physician, and you will be able to add more than one physician. And what's the other word? Doesn't necessarily have to be a physician, more so as the office that they're using. And then it will have an other preferences over here as well. And this is where you're going to be able to pick their plan benefits that they're most interested in. So if they really want an MAPD with dental benefits, you will be able to select dental And then once you go back to those plans on that preview page, this page with all the plans, it's going to pop up here, the provider, whether the provider's covered or not. And then if it has that dental benefit as well. So yes, that is really exciting news that you will be able to add the provider to this platform as well, which that is a feature that most agents, that's why they use the Sunfire version over this one. But come 2022, there will be no reason not to use this one. So once again, you know, I'm noticing here this, well, here, let me go back to plan details so I can show you guys the prescriptions tab. So every plan detail will have this covered, not covered, and then the total cost tab is also really popular because this is the tab a lot of agents like to print for their clients because it goes by every month. And I don't know, those of you who have utilized this before, when you would hit print, it would cut off the cost. So it wasn't really printer friendly, but they made every screen printer friendly now. So once again, that's something that the agents say is happening and we tell them and they fix it for us. So this is what it'll look like. You can change the effective date. It's going off, of course, that birth date that I put in there. And so you'll notice as well when you're on prescriptions, it has that add edit prescription list. So if you're getting here and you're seeing which ones are covered and not covered, you can easily go back to add edit prescription list. And so I'm gonna just get rid of this Lipitor because it's way expensive and they're okay with using the generic. And then I'm gonna go back to plans. It does offer a feature for you to compare up to 3 plans side by side. So if I wanted to do United Healthcare, WellCare, and Allwell, I just click the add to compare. And then once I'm done selecting the ones I want to compare, I just hit compare now. And it will put them all side by side for me. And it's going to put in yellow the differences between every plan. You can send this to your client. So if you have that client that wants to see all their options, you know, you can send them these 3 and it'll look just like this for them. And that's just sending them the quote. Once again, it'll show all the details for every plan and the differences between them. So now what I'm going to show you is when you do have the plan that you know you want to write your client in, what you're going to do is you're going to add to cart. And you're going to hit send to beneficiary to sign and submit. Then you'll hit continue to apply. It's just notifying you that you're going to this carrier's application. It's not going to take you to another portal where you have to log in or anything. You're staying within the Medicare app, but it will be specific to United Healthcare's application. So at this point, you should all be really familiar with the fields required. It will keep your information there to the right. It does make you pick a gender on United Healthcare. Mailing address, do you have a separate filing? No. No. Next. And this is where, you know, it does not populate that information from the profile because they want you to put that information in themselves or yourself. I'm just going to select I'm new to Medicare. And remember, at this point, you know, it's still you filling all of this out. So whether you're still on the phone with them, asking them these questions, or you already know these answers, you can select all of this for them. Just for this example, I'm just hitting no. For United Healthcare, it's saying this field is optional. I'm just going to click get a monthly bill. So you're just reviewing, you check, I am the Medicare beneficiary. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hit send to beneficiary. And this is what it's going to look like. You have the option to send them via email or text. So even the application, you can send to the text message. So what's going to happen, it's going to be like that scope. They're going to get a text and a link, and it's just going to direct them to sign the application. You have filled out the application for them. They're just reviewing the information and signing it. You can include all of this information when you send them the application. Some clients I've heard, you know, with agents that they get a little confused because you're sending them multiple stuff. So it might be beneficial if you just send them the application at this point, and you can always go back and send them the additional documents as well. And then I'm not going to be able to show you actually what it looks like for them to sign because I would actually be enrolling in a plan and I can't do that. But that's how it will happen for them. And then once you've sent them the application and you want to see that if they have signed it or not, all you have to do is go back to their profile and it'll show you down here their enrollment history. And so as of right now, the enrollment's not finished because I would have a big confirmation number and a green check, so I could continue where we left off for that. And it does tell me in my notes automatically appear that I sent the application. It tells me the date. I can add notes. I can add tasks. And let me see what these questions are really quick. Mike, what do you do if client doesn't have an email and you are sitting with them? Can they sign with touchscreen or external pad or just send a text? So you can just send a text. You don't have to do email. And then if I go, I'm not sure because I already sent the application and if it'll let me change the way I did it, but there is an option for you to select. Yeah, it's going to take me back to where I left off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to plans. And I'm going to add to cart. And I'm going to complete and submit the form myself. So this is what you would do if you're face-to-face. So then you would continue to apply. And what's going to happen is you're going to go through all those steps again, but they're going to be able to sign the application. And I don't know if you guys want me to go all the way through, but this again to show you that, but you'll be able for that, they will be able to sign it face to face. Okay. So do I have any more questions about just this part? Because I do want to get into the link that this platform provides agents as well. No? Okay. Okay, so the Medicare app does provide what I call a PURL, a personal URL. It provides you a free website, basically, your own personal Medicare.gov. I call it a lot of different things to put it in an agent's perspective. Every agent's kind of different in how they see that. But how you find this link in your account is you just click your name, you go to account overview, and you just hit copy link. And what I'm going to do is show you what it looks like for the potential client or your existing client. If you do as filling it out myself, does the agent still get? I don't think you finished typing what you were typing, Josh, but if they do fill it out themselves, are you asking if they still get commission? And if it's
Yeah, hey,
yes.
I think, yeah, that's what Josh is asking. Do they still get commission? And
Okay.
yeah, you're good.
Yes, definitely.
Josh just can't type.
Well, we figured it out. And yes, you will still get paid even if they fill it out themselves. And then if you do have that potential client, existing client, you know, that wants to shop on their own, enroll themselves, and you still want to get paid for it, then you can just send them this link. So this is personalized to every agent. So this will have your name on here. And then what you can do is either, well, not you can do, but your potential client or existing client can shop plans themselves. So I am just going to type in this zip code and then do view plans. And so basically it looks the same to them as it does to you, but this will only show the plans you are licensed to sell, your website, your plans. So you can send this, you know, you can put it on an ad on Facebook, enroll now, shop my plans, and direct people here. And what can happen is they can add to cart and they can do the full enrollment themselves and you can still get paid for it. So it's basically, you know, like Medicare.gov, pushing seniors to enroll themselves on Medicare.gov. You can also be able to do that. Well, we are from Mississippi. Health assessment questionnaire. Yes. So that is a feature for 2022. It's not available currently for the 2021 plans, but whenever those 2022 plans release, what will happen is the carriers that are allowing that, it will be within the application. So those questions that they want answered will be within that carrier's application. And if you answer those, what happens is you'll get those VBEs and HRAs. So as of right now, I only know of one carrier that is for sure 100% going to allow you to do it on the Medicare app. There's a few that we're still waiting for that 100% sure on. But yes, you will be able to get those on the Medicare app. So once again, they can enroll themselves in a plan all on their own. And what's even more cool is, you know, let's say you tell Ms. Jones, hi, Ms. Jones, can you do me a favor and go to my website here and create yourself an account. And so when they create themselves an account, I can show you what will happen. I'm just going to do a test one. So let's say you send someone to your account, tell them to create their own account. They can go in here and they can add their own prescriptions. So what will happen is they can go to prescriptions, they can add their own. They can even add the pharmacy that they want. They can do all of this themselves. They can see the plans. But if you wanted to, you can just say, you know, Miss Jones, I just need you to fill in the prescription drugs and just let me know when you're done filling in those prescription drugs so that I can go in there and see them and look at the plans with you. And so, like right now, I can go back to my account. I can go to my profiles and I'm going to search Miss Jones and they will pop up in my system as just a registrant. So when I click her and open her profile, I can jump to her prescriptions and I can see her prescriptions that she entered in for me. So that's another just, you know, feature. If you do business that way, you can utilize it for that. I don't see Essence on my PURL. Will they be added? Essence will not show up in the Medicare Center currently. We are looking at adding it soon. Okay, yeah, so that must be a carrier that they don't currently utilize. But of course, the Medicare app version or platform is the one that does provide the most carriers, and they are always adding carriers every year, but it is an annual thing. So I can write down that one and see if that one is in the works to being added for 2022 though, and see if they can give me an answer. But once again, it does have that personal website feature. And then also in that account overview, I do recommend agents going in there and looking at their permissions. So basically you just scroll down and it's going to say your active selling permissions. And that's all the carrier states plans that you can sell. So if you do get in there and you see one missing, or you know that you want to add to secure, so you'll see it on here, definitely get in there and do that. Okay, well, I think that is all for today's presentation. I do want to open it for questions, so if there are any agents that have any questions, please put them in there so I can get them answered. And if you do have questions later, you know, I work closely with Secure, so we can get them answered and handled for you ASAP. And, you know, this whole platform was built for you guys to save time during AEP and just to make things a lot easier for you. So once you're in there and you do have suggestions, please feel free to share them with us. Thanks. Thank you, Jordan and Robin. I hope that you give this platform a chance. Dallas, thank you. Thanks, Dallas. You spelled my name wrong on purpose. Thank you. How can we change our profile info? Phone. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Like, if you're on your account information, this information, if you wanted to change it on your profile, that might be something within Secure system or based on the carrier rosters, what information you have in there. So if you are,
yeah, this is Mike.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was asking that question because when I built the profile, when I set it up, when you first started, I put a different phone number in there, but it has my other phone number, and I think it was probably pulled from data from Secure. So I was wondering if we go through them to update that on Medicare Center.
Yeah, no, we just have to figure out where it's pulling from, and we can get it fixed. If you just want to, I'm not sure who the contact is at Secure for all the questions, but if you just want to send us the correct phone number, that way we can get in there and make sure it's the correct phone number.
Okay,
Hey, Mike,
thanks.
I'll have Amanda reach out to you after this call.
Okay. Yeah, I put in a different phone number, different email, and both of them showed up as my secure one. So I was just checking on that.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah. I do, I feel like I'm forgetting a big announcement as well, but the main things to remember is that CRM will be integrated into the Medicare app. You will be able to do HRAs. You will be able to do shop by doc. You'll be able to shop by those benefits. No login, or one universal login. You will have reporting capabilities, importing, exporting. Dallas, Mike wants his pager number to be on there. That's funny. Okay, well, I don't see any more questions popping through here. I tried really hard to keep this no longer than an hour. Robin, you're saying 2022 for HRAs. Yes. So yes, AEP. Sorry, I don't know the correct lingo, but prior to October 15th, yes, you will be able to do those HRAs. Of course, you won't be able to see, those 2022 plans. I think they allow them October 1st, but it just varies by year. 10-1, yeah. So you should be able to see what it'll look like 10-1. And hopefully we'll have examples prior to that from them, and I'll be able to show you, so you'll have a really good heads up of what to expect to get those, because we do want to, of course, push agents to utilize that extra feature carriers provide. It definitely helps provide some extra cash during AEP. So I don't see any more questions about the Medicare Center, but if you jumped on late, I know that I accepted a few people kind of late. If you do need additional training, if you do need someone to walk through an enrollment with you, we're of course happy to help you. We want you to be confident in using this. So whatever we can do to get you there. And I think that's it, Matt, unless you have anything else you want to add.
No, that's perfect. Hey, I appreciate you, Adrian. Thank you for doing that. If anybody else has any questions, contact Amanda at our office. Amanda is kind of heading up the Medicare Center point of contact for Secure. So if you have any questions that you think of later, feel free to call Amanda, and she can answer it or get with Adrian. But Adrian, I appreciate your time. You're the bomb.
Yeah, no, I greatly appreciate you giving me the opportunity to help multiple people at once. Even though I'm willing to do one-on-one, it's a lot easier to do multiple people. I did want to go ahead and throw out there, Matt, I know I mentioned it to Courtney, but whenever I do group trainings like this, I think we all know that we like to give away stuff. So what we normally do is the first agent who utilizes the Medicare Center submits an enrollment through the Medicare Center. After this training, we'll give them a $50 gas card. So if you, Matt, want to be, or Amanda be the contact, or the person who proves who the first person was, we're happy to send them that $50 gas card.
I actually just turned one in here just now.
Well, you're too late. Too late, Matt.
Yeah.
You're too late. You're too late.
Mike, I know you didn't turn one in.
But yeah,
well, no, I will add value to the conversation though, Matt. Unlike you in Dallas, I went to account profile and I was able to change all my information and update it, so that's not a problem. And I saved it. It's
perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, hey, Adrian, thanks. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys too. Y'all have a great rest of your day.